Welcome to the video. In this lecture, I'll guide you through the theory, some coding prompts and structures, practice problems, and teach you how to solve those problems in Python. If you are a complete beginner in Python or data analysis, you can practice coding without downloading any software at online-python.com, and so this lecture will be perfect for you. Stay till the end because if you are serious, you will start writing some basic codes related to today's topic within 10 minutes, even as a complete beginner, and that's a promise.
A while loop is used to repeatedly execute a block of code as long as a specified condition is true. The syntax for a while loop is given here. We have while condition and code to be executed as long as the condition is true. I'll show you with this example later. This code block will keep executing until the condition becomes false. The condition is a Boolean expression that is evaluated before each iteration of the loop. If the condition is true, the code inside the loop is executed, but if it is false, the loop is exited and the program continues with the next statement after the loop. To understand it much better, let's see an example. In this example, the loop will continue to execute as long as the count is less than 5. First of all, we assign count as 0 and we put some condition with the while loop. While count is less than 5, the print statement is given and the count is plus equals to 1, means it goes on increasing with the value of 1, like 1, 2, 3, and up to the point where the count is less than 5. And then for each of these counts, where while it is in loop, it prints as count is, and then it prints the count number. So the execution shows count is 0, count is 1, count is 2, count is 3, and count is 4. So this is just a simple example of the while loop. Let us see another example. Okay, in this example, we are using a while loop to calculate a factorial of a number, which is a mathematical operation representing the product of all the positive integers up to that number. We initialize the variable number with the value of 5, representing the number for which we want to find the factorial. We also initialize the variable factorial with the value of 1 as a starting point for calculating the factorial. The while loop condition number is greater than 0 ensures that the loop continues until number becomes 0. Within the loop, the asterisk equals to number updates the factorial by multiplying it with the current value of the num, effectively accumulating the factorial value. Then number minus equals to 1 decreases the value of number by 1 in each iteration to progress towards 0. Once number becomes 0, the loop exits and we print the calculated factorial using the print factorial is factorial. This loop effectively computes the factorial of 5, which is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, resulting in 120, which is printed as the final output. Let us see another example using a while loop to process a list. In this example, we utilize while loop to iterate over each element in the list number, which contains the integer 1 through 5. We initialize the variable index to 0, serving as the index for accessing elements within the list. The condition index less than len numbers ensures that the loop continues until index reaches the length of list numbers. Within the loop, print number index displays the value of element as the current index. Afterward, index plus equals to 1 increments the index by 1, allowing us to access the next element in the list during subsequent iteration. This process repeats until the index reaches the length of the list. Consequently, each element of the list is printed on the separate line, demonstrating how the while loop effectively processes and outputs each item within the list. Let us see another example. We are trying to create an infinite loop with a break statement. We are going to study the use of break statement in this example as well. So in this example, we have an infinite while loop that continuously prompts the user to input the number. The loop condition, while true, ensures that the loop runs indefinitely until it is explicitly terminated. Within the loop, the input function prompts the user to enter a number or exit to the in. If the user inputs exit, the if statement with break terminates the loop, breaking out of the infinite loop. Otherwise, if the user inputs a number, it's displayed back to the user with the message you entered, and it displays whatever is the user input. This loop structure enables the program to continuously accept user input until the user chooses to exit by typing exit, demonstrating the use of break statement to control the flow of the loop. So by now you may have seen differences between using a for loop and a while loop. Let's see a simple example as a summary again. So here I have used a for loop, print counting from 1 to 20 using a for loop. It prints the statement as it is for I in range 1 and 21. So 1 means the initiation and this 21 represents the maximum value in the range. So the output shows as counting from 1 to 20 using a for loop, and all the integer range from 1 to less than 21 or 20 is printed. Now let us try to do the same thing using a while loop. So here the while loop initializes a counter variable to 1 and continuously prints the counter value and increases it until it reaches 20. The loop terminates when the counter exceeds 20. Okay, so this is how do we execute the while loop. It is input in before the while loop to initialize the counter. We then give a condition for while loop to be true, and if this is true, it goes on in loop, and when the condition becomes false, for example when it becomes 21 or it is greater than 20, it goes out of loop. Until then it goes on increasing by 1. Count plus equals to 1 means count is equal to count plus 1, so that's the same thing. First of all, when the count is 1, it again adds once, it becomes 2, it again adds 1, it becomes 3, and so on. So this is what is printed in the output using the while loop. Both methods achieve the same result of printing numbers from 1 to 20, with the for loop being more concise and explicit in handling the iteration, while the while loop provides more flexibility in controlling the loop condition. We use a while loop generally when the number of iteration is not known beforehand, and the loop continues as long as a certain condition is true. We use a for loop when you know the number of iteration beforehand and when iterating over a sequence or range. So it is very important to know the range while doing the for loop. Now that you have read much about print command, I want you to print these using the print command. First of all, I want you to print your name in the console. In the second question, I want you to print the following. I want you to assign your name and your age to certain variable, and I want you to print my name is your name and I'm your years old and I'm trying to become a certified healthcare data analyst. So this statement should be printed after assigning your name and your age to certain variable. In the third question, I want you to print this one. First of all, assign two numbers 60 and 40 to variables x and y respectively, and print the following. If I add 60 and 40, the sum will be 100.